Every morning the sun rises with the same energy, but not everyone wakes up with the same purpose. Some people hit snooze, while others hit success. What separates the dreamers from the doers? It's not luck. It's not money. It's habits. Those quiet, powerful steps you take before the world even opens its eyes. Imagine waking up not just to a day, but to a mission. Think of your morning like a launch pad. If it's shaky, the whole flight struggles. But if it's strong, focused, and fueled with the right mindset, there's no limit to how far you can go. Successful people don't wait for motivation. They create it every single morning. Welcome back to Mind-Blowing Motive, your favorite place to grow your mindset, strengthen your purpose, and shine your light. Today's journey is something that can change the direction of your entire life. We're diving into 7 morning habits of successful people. These aren't just routines, they're life systems. They are the exact things that help people rise above the noise, stay mentally sharp, and move closer to their goals every single day. No matter where you are in life right now, if you can control your mornings, you can transform your destiny. So let's begin with habit number 1. Habit 1. Waking up early. Own your morning before the world does. There's something magical about the early morning. It's quiet, it's calm, and it feels like the world is still sleeping. But while others are lost in dreams, successful people are already up, building theirs. Waking up early is not just about starting the day ahead of others. It's about starting the day ahead of your old self. Think about it. In those early hours, there are no distractions. No emails, no texts, no noise, just you and your thoughts. And that's powerful, because in that silence, you can hear your deepest goals. You can feel your inner fire. That's the time to fuel it. Most successful people, from CEOs to creators, swear by this one simple act: waking up before the sun. It's not always easy, especially at first. Your bed will try to convince you that 5 more minutes won't hurt. But here's the truth. Those 5 minutes add up to a life you never lived, a dream you never chased, a version of yourself that never showed up. When you wake up early, you gain something most people never have: control. You control your pace, your thoughts, your energy. You start the day on your terms, not reacting to the world, but designing your world. That's the kind of mindset that builds legacies. And waking up early isn't just about time. It's about the message you send to yourself. You're telling your mind, I'm in charge. I choose growth over comfort. I choose my purpose over pleasure. That message becomes your identity. And identity drives every decision you make. Let's look at it another way. Imagine 2 people. One wakes up at 5 a.m. They take 30 minutes to stretch, breathe, or maybe journal. They read something inspiring. They plan their day. They speak positive words to themselves. They drink a glass of water and feel gratitude. By 7 a.m., they're already mentally clear, emotionally calm, and physically energized. Now think about the second person. They wake up at 8:30, rushing. No time to think, just reacting. Coffee in one hand, phone in the other. They're stressed, scattered, and already behind. And this becomes their normal. Which person do you think is going to win the day? Who is going to walk into challenges with strength instead of stress? Who is going to feel proud of themselves before the world even notices? Exactly. Waking up early also gives you time for things that truly matter, but often get ignored, like your health, your mindset, your goals. You can meditate, write, plan, exercise, or simply be present. These small acts in the morning compound over time. They shape your thoughts, and your thoughts shape your future. Even science backs this up. Studies show early risers tend to be more productive, more optimistic, and better at problem solving. They don't just work hard, they work smart, because their mind is clear, not clouded by the rush or pressure of a chaotic morning. Of course, it's not about waking up early for the sake of showing off. It's not a race to see who wakes up first. It's about intention. You could wake up at 5 a.m. and waste that time scrolling through social media. That's not winning. But if you wake up with purpose, no matter what time, it changes the game. So if you've been struggling to wake up early, start small. Go to bed 30 minutes earlier. Put your alarm across the room so you have to stand up to turn it off. Avoid checking your phone the moment you wake up. Replace it with something meaningful. Read a quote. Breathe deeply. Drink water. Smile. Celebrate the fact that you showed up. And don't beat yourself up if it doesn't happen perfectly every day. It's a process. But remember, every great transformation starts with a single choice. And when you choose to rise early, you're not just rising with the sun, you're rising with purpose. There's an old saying, lose an hour in the morning and you'll spend all day looking for it. Let that sink in. So tomorrow, when your alarm rings, ask yourself, do I want to sleep with my dreams or wake up and chase them? Because the truth is, the world belongs to those who rise with courage. To those who start the day not with fear, but with fire. Wake up early, not just to see the sunrise, but to become the kind of person who brings light into every room they enter. Habit 2. Practicing gratitude. Starting your day with a thankful heart. Before the world demands anything from you, you have the chance to remind yourself of what you already have. Practicing gratitude every morning may seem like a small, simple act, but it's one of the most powerful habits successful people live by. Why? Because gratitude resets your mind. It rewires your thinking, and it reminds you that success isn't only about chasing more, it's also about recognizing what already makes your life meaningful. When you wake up in the morning, your mind is a blank canvas. What you choose to paint on it becomes your mood, your mindset, your direction for the rest of the day. If the first thing you think about is stress, worries, or what you don't have, your entire day can begin with heaviness. But if the first thoughts you allow into your heart are filled with appreciation, your entire energy shifts. Successful people know this. That's why many of them start their mornings by saying, "Thank you," out loud, silently, or through writing. They take a moment to be thankful for the roof over their heads, the breath in their lungs, the people who love them, the lessons from yesterday, and the possibilities of today. This act doesn't take hours. Sometimes just a minute of real, focused gratitude can bring more clarity than hours of overthinking. Here's the secret. Gratitude multiplies what you already have. It turns a small victory into a celebration. It turns a setback into a lesson. It turns comparison into confidence. When you're thankful, you stop chasing other people's lives. You start honoring your own. And that makes you powerful. Think of someone climbing a mountain. The person who only looks at the peak feels tired, overwhelmed, and discouraged. But the one who looks back every few steps and appreciates how far they've come feels inspired to keep going. Gratitude is that glance backward. It reminds you that you've survived, grown, and come a long way. even if you're not yet where you want to be. You don't need anything fancy to start this habit. No journal, no perfect setup, just a decision. Every morning before you touch your phone or start your tasks, pause. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, what am I truly thankful for right now? It could be your health. It could be the chance to try again. It could be the people who stood by you when others walked away. Let those thoughts sit in your heart for a few seconds. Let them shape the tone of your day. Many successful people take this further and write down 3 things they're grateful for each morning. Not once. Every single day. Over time, this daily habit turns into a mindset. You start seeing the good even when things are tough. You find meaning even in your mistakes. You stop reacting and start reflecting. That kind of emotional intelligence isn't just healthy, it's attractive. People are drawn to those who radiate gratitude because it shows strength, it shows peace. And you know what's beautiful about gratitude? It keeps you grounded. In a world that constantly tells you to want more, be more, buy more, gratitude reminds you that who you are, what you have, and where you are is already enough. It doesn't stop you from growing. It just helps you grow from a place of wholeness instead of emptiness. So if you've been feeling stuck, anxious, or overwhelmed lately, try this. Start your next morning with gratitude, not just as a task, but as a gift to yourself. You'll begin to notice how your heart softens, how your anxiety quiets, and how your inner voice becomes more kind. That voice, that energy, will affect everything, from your work to your relationships to your goals. Here's something real to think about. The most successful people aren't the ones who have everything. They're the ones who appreciate everything they have. And that appreciation creates room for more. More peace, more love, more purpose. So tomorrow morning, don't rush. Before the coffee, before the chaos, before the clock pulls you into the rush of the day, say thank you. Whisper it, write it, feel it. Make it your first win of the day, because when your heart is full of gratitude, your hands will never feel empty. In a world full of noise, gratitude is your calm. In a world full of competition, gratitude is your confidence. And in a world full of chasing, gratitude reminds you already have what many are still looking for. Habit 3. Planning the day. Don't just live the day, lead it. Success doesn't happen by accident. It's not about luck or chance. It's about direction. And the people who reach their goals, stay consistent, and manage their time with grace are the ones who plan their day before the day begins. This one habit might look small, but it's like holding the steering wheel of your life. Without it, you're just drifting. With it, you're driving. With clarity, purpose, and power. Think about how most people start their morning. They roll out of bed, grab their phone, scroll through endless notifications, and let the outside world decide what they feel, what they do, and what they focus on. But successful people are different. Before the world gets a say, they already know what matters most to them that day. They're not reacting. They're leading. Planning the day isn't about making a long, complicated to-do list. It's about setting intentions. It's about knowing what your main priorities are and deciding how you want to show up for yourself, your work, your family, your dreams. That simple habit puts you back in control, and control creates confidence. You see, the human brain craves clarity. When you wake up with 1,000 things swirling in your head, Meetings, deadlines, messages, chores. It's easy to feel anxious or overwhelmed. But when you take just 10 minutes each morning to plan your day, your brain relaxes. It knows what's coming. It knows what matters. And you start your day with calm instead of chaos. Successful people often use what's called the power list technique. That means they don't try to do 100 things in a day. Instead, they focus on the top 3 to 5 most important tasks. Not busy work, not distractions, but real, meaningful actions that move their life forward. This gives them a sense of direction, and every time they complete a task, they feel that momentum build. And momentum is everything. Let's face it, there will always be distractions. Emails will flood in, calls will come, people will ask for your time. If you don't have a plan, your day will be hijacked by things that don't even matter to you. But with a plan in place, you're not afraid to say no. You're not swayed by urgency, because you've already said yes to something bigger, your vision. Planning also helps with energy. Some tasks are better done in the morning when your mind is sharp. Others are better left for the afternoon when your energy dips. When you plan ahead, you can schedule tasks based on your natural rhythm, not just on what's thrown at you. That leads to better results, fewer mistakes, and less burnout. Another thing many successful people do during their morning planning is visualization. They don't just write tasks down, they imagine themselves doing them. They picture how they want to feel, how they want to act, how they'll respond if something goes wrong. This mental rehearsal prepares them. It sharpens their focus and reduces fear. It's like practicing success before it even happens. Let's take an example. Imagine 2 people. One wakes up and says, "Let's see what happens today." The other wakes up and says, "Here's what I will accomplish. Here's who I want to be. Here's what I'm building." Who do you think will feel more powerful by the end of the day? Who will go to sleep feeling proud and productive? That's right. Planning your day is not about control-freak behavior. It's about respect for your time, your energy, and your potential. And when you build this habit every morning, it becomes automatic. You start the day with purpose instead of panic. You focus on results, not just effort. And even when the day throws surprises at you, which it will, you'll still be anchored. You'll still have direction. Start small. You don't need a fancy planner or a 3-hour routine. Just grab a notebook or even your phone. Every morning, ask yourself 3 simple questions. 1. What are the top 3 things I need to accomplish today? 2. What kind of energy do I want to bring into my day? 3. What could get in my way and how will I handle it? Answer those honestly. Review them during the day. Celebrate when you follow through. Over time, this habit builds discipline, and discipline builds freedom. Remember, every day is a brick in the foundation of your future. You can either lay it with intention or let it fall by default. One leads to purpose, the other leads to regret. So tomorrow morning, don't just wake up. Wake up with a plan. Look at the hours ahead not as time to survive, but as a stage to perform your best. Take the driver's seat. Decide where your day goes before someone else decides for you. Because life isn't just about living, it's about leading. And your day is your first chance to lead. Habit 4. Move in your body. Activate your energy, discipline, and drive. Every successful morning begins with movement. Not because of a fitness trend, but because of what movement does to your mind, not just your muscles. You see, moving your body isn't about having the perfect workout routine or getting six-pack abs. It's about waking yourself up from the inside out. It's about choosing to energize your life on purpose. Think about how most people start their mornings. They wake up tired, dragging their feet, staring at their phones, and letting their minds slip back into yesterday's stress. But successful people choose something different. They choose to move, to stretch, walk, run, breathe, or just shake off the stiffness, because they know that motion creates emotion. It changes how you feel, how you think, and how you face the day. When you move your body in the morning, even for 5 to 15 minutes, you send a powerful message to your brain. I'm alive. I'm strong. I'm in control. Your blood starts to flow, your heartbeat rises, and your energy level begins to climb. It's like charging your body's battery before stepping into battle. And in today's fast, demanding world, who doesn't need that? Movement doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need a gym, fancy equipment, or an hour-long routine. All you need is intention. You could go for a brisk walk, do a few jumping jacks, practice yoga, follow a short workout video, or simply dance to your favorite song. The goal isn't perfection, it's activation, and there's real science behind it. Morning movement increases dopamine and serotonin, chemicals in your brain that boost happiness and focus. It lowers stress hormones like cortisol. It clears the mental fog and replaces it with clarity. So if you're someone who often wakes up anxious, stressed, or low on motivation, movement is your medicine. Let's take a look at the lives of some of the world's most successful people. Nearly every high performer, from CEOs to athletes to artists, includes morning exercise as a non-negotiable habit. Why? Because it builds more than muscle. It builds discipline. It's a daily reminder that success begins when you do what's right, not what's easy. Think of it this way. Your body is the vehicle that carries your dreams. If you don't take care of it, how can you expect to reach your destination? A strong, energized body supports a sharp, focused mind. The two are connected. You can't grow one without the other. Also, movement in the morning isn't just physical. It's deeply emotional. When you push through that first resistance, when you stretch beyond what's comfortable, you build confidence. You tell yourself, if I can do this, I can handle anything. And that confidence spills over into your work, your relationships, your goals. Movement also gives you something most people never feel: momentum. The hardest part of any task is getting started. But when your body is already moving, your mind follows. You find it easier to start your projects, to speak up, to make decisions. Your body is awake. Your mind is sharp. You're not dragging through the day. You're driving it. There's also a sense of pride that comes from this habit. When you move your body in the morning, before anyone is watching, before the world starts asking things from you, you've already done something powerful for yourself. That's a win. And when you start your day with a win, it's easier to collect more wins throughout the day. Now let's talk reality. There will be days when you don't feel like moving, days when your bed feels too comfortable, or your schedule feels too packed. That's normal. But successful people show up anyway. Not because it's easy, but because they've learned that consistency beats comfort. You don't have to run 5 miles. You don't have to lift heavy weights. Just do something. Walk around your home while listening to a podcast. Do 10 push-ups while brushing your teeth. Try a 5-minute stretch. It's not the size of the movement. It's the commitment to start that matters most. And remember, you're not just moving for your body, you're moving for your future. Every drop of sweat, every breath you take, every step you push through, it all adds up. It makes you stronger, sharper, and more resilient. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up, before reaching for your phone, before thinking about all the things you have to do, move. Give yourself that gift. Remind your body who's in control. Remind your mind what it feels like to be alive. Because when your body moves, your life moves. And success? It doesn't wait. It runs with those who are ready to move toward it. Habit 5. Feeding the mind. Learn something new. Every morning. Success is not just about what you do. It's about what you know. And more importantly, how you grow. That's why one of the most powerful morning habits of successful people is feeding their minds before the day feeds them stress. They understand that every morning is a golden opportunity to pour fresh wisdom into their brain before the noise of the world takes over. Your mind is like a garden. If you don't plant something valuable, weeds will grow on their own. That's what happens when we start our days passively, scrolling through social media, watching random content, or reacting to messages. The brain becomes cluttered, reactive, and distracted. But when you choose to nourish your mind first thing in the morning, you take control. You prepare yourself not just to face the day, but to win the day. Think about the most successful people across any industry, business leaders, inventors, athletes, artists. They are all students, even at the top. Why? Because the day you stop learning is the day you start declining. Life is always moving forward. And those who grow with it, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, are the ones who stay relevant, fulfilled, and ahead of the game. So, what does it look like to feed your mind in the morning? It could be as simple as reading 10 pages of a great book, or listening to a powerful podcast, or watching a motivational video, or reviewing your personal development notes. What matters isn't the method, it's the intention. You're choosing to start your day by expanding your mind instead of exhausting it. Now you might be thinking, I don't have time. But let's be honest, everyone has 10 minutes. You just need to reclaim it. Maybe instead of checking emails first thing, you read something that challenges you. Instead of turning on the TV, you watch a TED Talk or listen to a voice that inspires growth. That 10 minutes adds up. Day after day, it becomes a part of your identity. You're no longer just someone who goes through life. You're someone who grows through life. There's a saying, empty minds are full of noise. Full minds are full of power. When you start your morning with new knowledge or wisdom, you give your brain something to work with. Your conversations become deeper, your thinking becomes sharper, your decisions become clearer. You don't just react, you reflect. You become someone people look to for answers, ideas, and insight. This habit also builds your self-worth. When you invest in your mind, you're telling yourself, I'm worth the time. I believe in my growth. I matter. That self-respect multiplies into every area of your life, your career, your relationships, your confidence. And it all starts with that quiet choice in the morning, to learn, to grow, to improve. One beautiful thing about this habit is that it humbles you. No matter how successful you become, learning keeps your feet on the ground. It reminds you that there's always more to discover, always more to understand. That humility makes you teachable, and teachable people become unstoppable. Some of the most successful CEOs read daily. Bill Gates reads about 50 books a year. Warren Buffett spends most of his day reading. Oprah Winfrey credits reading as one of the biggest contributors to her success. These are people with tight schedules, massive responsibilities, and high pressure, but they still make time to feed their minds. Because they know everything begins with the way you think. Even beyond books or podcasts, you can feed your mind by journaling your thoughts, asking yourself powerful questions, or reflecting on your goals. A simple 5-minute reflection like, "What did I learn yesterday?" or "How can I be better today?" opens mental doors that routine actions never will. Feeding your mind also protects you from negativity. The world is full of noise, complaints, fear, gossip, doubt. But when you start your day by pouring in truth, wisdom, and clarity, you create a shield. You become mentally strong. It doesn't mean you ignore reality. It means you respond to it from a place of strength, not weakness. Let's make it practical. Starting tomorrow morning, try this. Keep a mind food section in your morning routine. Set a timer for 10 to 15 minutes. Choose a source. Maybe it's a chapter of a book, a YouTube speech, or an audiobook. Whatever it is, be intentional. Don't multitask. Let the information soak in. Afterward, ask yourself, what's one idea I can apply today? Just one. Because learning without application is entertainment, but learning with action is transformation. Remember, every successful person you admire once started where you are. The difference is they made learning a lifestyle, and it all begins in the morning. The earlier you grow, the stronger you go. So tomorrow morning, before the world pulls at your energy, feed your mind. Don't leave your thoughts to chance. Guide them, grow them, guard them. Because the most successful people don't just fill their schedule, they fill their soul with wisdom. And that kind of power, it changes everything. Habit 6. Practicing gratitude. Start your day with a thankful heart. In a world that constantly pushes us to want more, do more, and achieve more, it's easy to forget what we already have. That's why one of the most powerful habits of successful people is this simple yet life-changing act, practicing gratitude every morning. It may sound small, it may seem soft, but make no mistake, gratitude is a force that rewires your brain, strengthens your emotional resilience, and brings peace into your most chaotic days. Let's be real. Mornings can be stressful. There's the rush to get ready, the thoughts about all the things you have to do, maybe even the heaviness of yesterday still hanging on. But when you pause and take just 2 or 3 minutes to focus on what you're thankful for, your entire emotional state shifts. Gratitude pulls your attention away from what's missing and brings it back to what's meaningful. Successful people understand that life is built from the inside out. And when your inner world is calm, thankful, and focused on abundance, your outer world becomes more manageable, even joyful. That's why so many top performers, leaders, and even athletes start their mornings not with complaints, but with quiet appreciation. It's not just about being nice, it's about being grounded. The science is real, too. Studies show that people who practice daily gratitude experience lower stress levels, better sleep, stronger relationships, and even improved physical health. Why? Because gratitude trains your mind to focus on the positive, even in tough situations. And when your mindset is positive, your decisions, your mood, and your energy all begin to reflect that. Now here's the best part. This habit doesn't require money, talent, or time. It takes just a few quiet moments. You could keep a gratitude journal by your bed. Each morning, write down 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be big. It could be your health, the roof over your head, the smell of coffee, or the way your child smiled at you yesterday. What matters is that you feel it. Let your mind sit in that gratitude for a moment. Let it sink in. Some successful people speak their gratitude out loud. Others think about it during meditation. Some pray. Some write it. There's no perfect way. What matters is that you make it part of your routine, not just something you do when life feels good. Because honestly, gratitude is most powerful when life feels hard. That's when it becomes your anchor. Let's say you woke up feeling overwhelmed. You have deadlines, bills, and problems to solve. But then you take 2 minutes to say, I'm thankful I woke up today. I'm thankful I have a chance to try again. I'm thankful for the lessons in front of me. Instantly, your energy shifts. You're no longer buried under pressure. You're standing on a platform of perspective. That perspective makes all the difference. Gratitude also helps you focus on the present. So many people start their day in regret about the past or anxiety about the future. But gratitude says, right here, right now, I have something valuable. I have something to smile about. And when you start your day from that place, you become more centered, more focused, and more emotionally strong. This habit also affects how you treat others. When you begin your morning thankful, you're more patient with your family, more kind to your coworkers, more understanding of strangers. Gratitude softens your heart, and a soft heart is powerful, not weak. It's the kind of power that attracts people, builds trust, and creates deep, meaningful connections. It also makes you more productive. Yes, really. When you're grateful, you're not wasting time thinking about what you lack or what others have. You're focused on what you can do with what you do have. You stop comparing and start creating. You stop doubting and start doing. That's how gratitude leads to real success, not just in career, but in life. Another beautiful thing about this habit is that it spreads. When people see you practicing gratitude, not just talking about it, but living it, they feel inspired. Maybe they start doing it too. Gratitude is contagious. It lights up the people around you without you saying a word. It shows in your face, your tone, your actions, and in a world full of negativity, that's something truly powerful. So how can you start tomorrow morning? Simple. Before you touch your phone, before you even get out of bed, think of 3 things you're grateful for. Feel them in your heart. Let a smile come naturally. Then say, either out loud or silently, thank you. That's it. No pressure, no perfect words, just a genuine moment of appreciation. Or write them down. Keep a small notebook just for gratitude. Make it a daily habit. Over time, you'll notice patterns. You'll see what matters most to you. And on the hard days, you can go back and read those pages and remind yourself that even in chaos, there was always something good. Gratitude won't erase your problems, but it will give you the strength and peace to face them. And that makes all the difference. Because at the end of the day, success isn't just about what you have. It's about how you feel about what you have. And if you can wake up every morning and say, I already have enough to be thankful, then you're already far richer than most. Habit 7. Setting intentions. Start with purpose, not pressure. What if you could take control of your day before it even begins? What if, instead of reacting to everything that comes your way, you stepped into your morning already clear, focused, and ready? That's exactly what the most successful people do with one final but deeply powerful habit. They set clear intentions every morning. This habit is about more than just writing a to-do list. It's about connecting with your purpose before you connect with the world. It's about asking yourself, what kind of person do I want to be today? Not just, what do I have to get done? Because let's face it, life moves fast, and if you don't take a moment to aim your mind and energy, your day can easily be hijacked by distractions, stress, or other people's agendas. Setting an intention is like setting the GPS of your mind. It doesn't mean the road will be smooth. It doesn't mean there won't be challenges, but it does mean you know where you're going, and that gives you power. That gives you peace. Successful people don't leave their mindset to chance. They don't let their emotions control their mornings. They take 5 to 10 quiet minutes to decide how they want to think, how they want to feel, and what they want to focus on. This tiny pause creates massive clarity. It turns random effort into purposeful action. You don't need a perfect script. You don't need to meditate for hours. You just need a few quiet breaths and a clear thought. Maybe you say, today, I choose to stay calm under pressure. Or, I will bring energy and kindness into every room I enter. Or, my focus is on progress, not perfection. These aren't just nice thoughts. They're mental commands, and the brain responds to them. Let's talk about why this habit works. When you start your day with intention, your reticular activating system, a part of your brain, kicks in. It begins filtering your focus based on what you told it. If you start the day saying, I'm going to stay focused, your brain literally looks for ways to help you stay on track. You begin noticing opportunities instead of obstacles. You respond instead of react. And here's what's amazing. This habit takes almost no time. You can do it in bed before you get up. You can do it while brushing your teeth. You can do it during a short walk. The key is to make it consistent. A daily moment where you stop, breathe, and choose your mental state. Because if you don't choose it, the world will choose it for you. And usually, that choice isn't peaceful or productive. Setting intentions is also an act of self-respect. It says, I'm not going to let the world push me around today. I'm going to lead myself. That kind of leadership starts from within. It's quiet. It's powerful. And it separates those who drift through life from those who design their life. Think of it like this. Would you get into a car and start driving without a destination? Probably not. Yet that's what most people do every day. They wake up, they start moving, but they have no clarity about how they want to live that day. So they fall into old habits. They get lost in distractions. But when you set an intention, you're choosing the direction of your energy. That's not small. That's transformational. Another powerful layer to this habit is visualization. Many successful people visualize their goals or imagine themselves handling their day with strength. They see the meeting going well. They see themselves staying patient with their kids. They imagine checking off that one difficult task. And the brain responds to this as if it's real. It creates confidence. It builds certainty, and that certainty shows up in your actions. Let's get practical. Tomorrow morning, before checking your phone, sit for a minute. Ask yourself, what do I want from this day? Not in terms of tasks, but in terms of experience. Do I want to be calm, focused, creative, brave? Pick one word or sentence. Write it down or say it out loud. That's your intention. Hold it in your mind for a moment, then carry it with you through your morning. Yes, the day may challenge you. Things might go wrong. But your intention acts like a mental compass. It brings you back to center, and over time, it becomes your identity. You're no longer just someone who wakes up. You're someone who wakes up with purpose. This habit also helps reduce anxiety. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by everything coming at you, you begin to feel like you're the one in charge. You respond to the world on your terms, and that's when you start to live intentionally, not accidentally. In the end, success isn't just about achievement. It's about alignment. It's about living in line with what matters most to you, and setting your intention each morning is how you start that process, fresh, focused, and full of quiet power. So tomorrow morning, don't just wake up on purpose. Decide who you're going to be, how you're going to think, and where you want your energy to go. That simple choice could change everything. If you found value in these morning habits, imagine what more we can build together. Subscribe to Mind-Blowing Motive for powerful motivation and simple English that inspires your heart and sharpens your mind every single day.